Hello, 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 beautiful people. We are all ramping up, getting ready for the storm, praying, planning, preparing, being protected. Do everything you can, regardless of where you are in the country. I've got my tea. You can go to shopwithdrj.com to get you some tea. Comes in these little packets like this instead of a tea bag, and it's minced. It's very, very fine. It's grinded so fine you don't need the tea bag, because a lot of tea bags are bleached, you guys. And so unless you're using an organic tea bag, or you're paying attention, or using those things where you just soak your leaves yourself, those tea bags can be toxic. So these are packets, and then you just pour it in the tea with hot water. I've also got vitamin C. I don't know if you can see vitamin C. And these are little tablets like this. And then you just drop it in your tea, and it dissolves like an Alka-Seltzer, but tastes 1,000% better than any Alka-Seltzer. And so it'll just fizz, and it's nice and comforting, and it just will allow you to breathe. So got my tea. I'm in all snuggled, got firewood, got a generator. The National Guard has been called. State of emergency has already been issued by governors in 8 states before the first snowflake even hits, because they're talking about this is going to be a doozy. And so prepare, plan. It's better to prepare ahead of time than wish you had. Okay. So grocery stores are like selling out. I'm going to invest in some grocery store stock. You best believe. Before next winter, I'm going to have stock in grocery stores, ones that have national reach and have had less theft. Okay? So it won't be Walmart. But I am definitely going to look into the ticker on the stocks, and I will be investing in commodities. Okay? Success leaves clues, because these grocery stores are selling out. People are panic buying. And I don't blame them. Get you some non-perishables, get you stuff in cardboard boxes, get you what you need. If you got to pay some extra for some groceries, do what you need to do. But I'm also going to tell you, stay prepared so you don't have to get prepared. So winter comes every year. Now, it may not come the same, but you should be stocking up all year round and be prepared. That's just the best I can give you. Pray, go within, and know within your heart what you need to do as you can do it, so that you aren't caught off guard when something like this happens, okay? Pharmacy is a great opportunity for you to be selling through the year, so you can save up extra money, so you can put it aside, so you can make extra money for when things like this come up, okay? Because y'all know winter comes every year. Spring comes every year. Summer comes every year, depending on what part of the nation or globe you're listening in from, right? Where I live, we have all 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. Sometimes in the same day, baby. I'm Dr. J, by the way. I am a prawns director with pharmacy out of the Kentucky market. Only been with pharmacy 5 months. And today is January 2026. It's a new year. We're trying to help you get to a new you, because you can't have a new year if there's not any new mindset, new habits, new thinking that you're doing. So we're reading a book, and we are at the very end. We're at part 3 of Be Your Future Self Now by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Be your future self now. And so we're going to learn something new. Not everything I agree with so far that's been in this book, but it definitely gives you a new perspective. So take what's good, discard what's not, and then drop in the comments a book that you think would be a really great suggestion for us to continue reading as we go along this growing our mindset to grow our money journey. So for those of you who are new to my channel, make sure to like and subscribe so that you know the next time I do a book reading. And if you haven't heard, anything about this book yet. I'll give you a brief recap and then we will get started on page 149. That's how far we are, almost at the end of this. Yay! Hallelujah. Okay. Part 1 was 7 threats to our future self. Ooh, my skin is just glowing. That's that Shop with Dr. J skincare line. Hey. Okay. So threat A, without hope in your future, your present loses meaning. You can go to my live tabs on my channel and you can find all these listed by alphabetical letters. Okay. So A, without hope in your future, your present loses meaning. B, a reactive narrative about your past stunts your future. C, being unaware of your environment creates a random evolution. D, being disconnected from your future self leads to myopic decisions. E, urgent battles and small goals keeps you stuck. F, not being in the arena is failing by default. G, success is often the catalyst for failure. And H was the conclusion to future self threats. Then we got into part 2, which was 7 truths about your future self. I, your future self drives your present. J, your future self is different than you expect. K, your future self is the Pied Piper, so pay it. L, the more rigid and detailed your future self, the faster you'll progress. M, failing as your future self is better than succeeding as your current self. I love that because I'm doing this, failing forward as my future self. And success is achieved by being true to your future self, nothing else. O, your view of God impacts your future self. And we also did in O, the conclusion of future self truths. Okay. And then the last part 3, P, clarify your contextual purpose. Q, eliminate lesser goals. And then we're on R today. Elevate from needing to wanting to know. Elevate from needing to know to wanting to know. Being, doing, having is how it works. Do or not do. There is no try. Yoda. Okay, page 150. Dr. David Hawkins created what is known as the map of consciousness. This map reflects levels of emotional development ranging from the lowest level of shame, fear, and anger to the highest level of courage, acceptance, love, and enlightenment. The higher you progress on Hawkins' map, the easier it is to create the life you want, according to this book, Be Your Future Self by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. The lower you are on the map, the more friction, the more resistance, the more pain will be in your life. Progressing through the levels is the process of evolving from needing to wanting to know. When you think you need something, you have an unhealthy attachment to it. Needing implies you are in a deep state of lack and can't be whole or happy until the need is fulfilled. Wanting is a healthier version than needing, but wanting is still a state of lack. To want assumes you don't possess what you want. Knowing is a higher level than wanting. So we're going to be elevating from needing to know to wanting to know to knowing you know. Elevating from needing you know to wanting you know to knowing you know. So I didn't say that right in the beginning. So elevating from needing to wanting to knowing. Got it. Good. Okay. So knowing is a higher level than wanting. Knowing is the acceptance that you already have what you want. I am that I am that I am because of the great I am. You can live in a state of acceptance, peace, and gratitude. Oh, we give thanks. Gratitude. I give thanks for those who are listening in today, because you could be listening to so much other stuff. You could be listening to all the bull crap that's on the news, but instead you are wanting and knowing, and we are evolving. Okay, let me get back to the book. Jackie, Dr. J, stay focused. Knowing is the acceptance that you already have what you want. You can live in a state of acceptance, peace, and gratitude. As Florence Shinn, the earliest 20th century writer and mystic, said, faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. In similar fashion, the actor Denzel Washington stated, true desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours already. True desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours already. When you know something is yours, you act differently than if you don't know. Woo, that's a word right there. When you know that you know that you know that you know something is yours, you act differently than if you don't know. A salesperson who knows they are going to make a sale behaves differently than the salesperson who wants to make a sale. If a person knows they're going to get up the next morning and go to the gym, they'll be different from the person who simply wants to. Knowing is an inner experience, a state of acceptance. Close your eyes and imagine your future self in specific detail. Imagine yourself where you want to be. Are you living in a particular home, cozy by the fireplace with your lover? Are you completing a marathon at a certain age? Is there a certain amount of money to make that you want to give and bless? And what does that look like, you being in that blessing moment? Accept the vision as something you know you already have. Inhale, acceptance. If you want, pray and ask God if you can have this, and wait for peace to rest upon your soul. Feel that peace and smile. Genuinely express gratitude for your vision. Author and teacher Dr. Joe Dispenza stated, gratitude is a powerful emotion to use for manifesting because normally we feel gratitude after we receive something. So the emotional signature of gratitude means it has already happened. When you are thankful or you feel appreciation, you are in the ultimate state to receive. When you embrace gratitude, your body as the unconscious mind will begin to believe it is in a future reality in the present moment. You have to really feel the emotions of your future. This is not an intellectual process. It is a visceral one. What do you believe you're worthy to receive? Can you teach your body emotionally what it would feel like to receive what it is you want before it happens? In order for it to manifest, you have to be able to do this in the present moment. A primary reason people don't get what they want is because they don't feel worthy to have it. I was just saying that. Wow, I was just saying that. Okay. They can visualize. This was another conversation that just happened yesterday, I was saying. But anyways, okay. They can visualize their desired goal mentally, but emotionally resist owning that reality. They don't believe their future self. Belief. We can't get away from belief, y'all. They don't feel abundance can be theirs. They're blocked and resist. And that's a choice and a decision, to be blocked and resist. And you probably don't believe that if you're blocked and resist. But if you try it and say, I'm going to see, like, make a decision. Okay, so they're blocked and resist. Napoleon Hill stated, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, which is Bible. He further stated, if you make your prayers an expression of gratitude and thanksgiving for the blessing you already have instead of request for things you do not have, you will obtain a result much faster. Y'all might have to rewind that when I ain't repeating it. Woo! Gratitude is powerful when expressed for what has already occurred. It's also extremely powerful when you express proactive gratitude for what you want in the future. Gratitude elevates from wanting to knowing, needing, wanting, knowing. When I truly want something, I meditate. I visualize. The desire is already mine and pray until I reach a state of knowing. For example, by closing my eyes and seeing the house I want for my family to live in, I deeply inhale acceptance of having this home and softly exhale gratitude. Get my tea. Whew. Exhale congestion too. There's vitamin C working. Okay. So I deeply inhale acceptance of having this home, exhale gratitude for the reality to be. I totally accept that what I want is already mine. I'm at total peace. There's no lack, only utter gratitude and acceptance. In the classic book, As a Man Thinketh, James Allen wrote, men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are. That is why getting to a place of knowing and acceptance is crucial. Keyword, getting to a place. There's a journey and a process involved. Okay, some people can happen like that. Some people, we got to have grace and just keep encouraging along the way. Okay, so getting to a place of knowing and acceptance is crucial. That is why you must be your future self now, because there's so many people that you need to help and serve. Like, we need you to get there faster. Okay, yes. Speaking to myself. Your behavior follows your identity. Write that down, because that's going to take some marinating for you to understand what that just meant for you. Your behavior follows your identity. If you don't like your behavior, you need to realign your identity to source. Okay. That's a whole nother topic. The scientific definition of identity is a well-organized conception of the self, consisting of values and beliefs to which that individual is solidly committed. Your identity is what you're most committed to. As you align your identity with your future self, fully accepting the truth of it, then you act as your future self. Dr. Stephen Covey said, to know and not to do is really not to know. When you know, you will do. To know and not do is to not know. To repeat Florence Shinn, faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. Faith is knowing. Receive it. That knowing automatically leads to an elevated and aligned doing. Every little action you take towards your future self enhances your level of commitment and knowing. Every little action towards your future self is the evidence of your faith. Every little action towards your future self is you more fully being your future self now. To know and not do is really not to know. Dr. Stephen R. Covey. He writes some great books too. Okay, so knowing and being in advance are key to having. Zig Ziglar stated, you have to be before you can do and do before you can have. Are these riddles like going over your head? You might have to write them down, meditate, and grow into what these really mean. Like, these might need to be like some sticky notes that you put on your mirror on your wall. Zig Ziglar stated, you have to be before you can do and do before you can have. This is the reverse of how most people approach their desires and why few people live the life they want. Few people live the life they need, and why few people live the life that they want to know. The common approach is to believe you must have something first, which will enable you to do and ultimately be what you want. For example, say you want to be an entrepreneur, you might think you first need to have funding. How many people do we know? Or how many people of ourselves we have been there before? Or a brilliant idea, or fill in the blank, which will enable you to do what you want to do and ultimately be who you want to be, right? Believing you must first have something leads people down endless paths of lesser goals that never led them where they want to go. I have been there before. As an example, I have a friend who would love to retire and do full-time humanitarian service, but he believes he must first have certain credentials, finances, and experiences. Rather than being his future self now, he spends decades accumulating qualifiers that he believes will enable him to eventually do and be what he wants. What he doesn't realize. Are y'all tracking? Are y'all listening? Are y'all following? This is getting gooder and gooder. Stay to the end. We're almost finished. This is some good nuggets. You might have to go back and listen to this one again, okay? Where was I at? Lost my place. I got so excited, y'all. Like, this is high vibration, high level, okay? Woo. Okay, so, rather than being his future now, he spends decades accumulating qualifiers that he believes will enable him to eventually do and be what he wants. What he doesn't realize is that he could be his future self now if he started with being, which is knowing. Then his doing would come from his future self rather than from his current and limited self. Jesus. That's a hallelujah right there. Okay, accept and know that what you want is yours, and you can be and do from your goal rather than to your goal. So you got to operate from the goal, not to the goal. Your actions are far more powerful and aligned when you do it that way. Your actions come from your identity. When your identity is rooted in current commitments rather than your future self, your actions are weak and unaligned with your goal. The only way to realize your future self is to be your future self now. Be, then do, then have. Once you accept the truth of your future self and know it's already yours, then your actions align with your vision. The problem is some people don't have clarity and vision. That's a whole nother story. But once you do have clarity and vision, and once you do know who you are, which is a whole nother story, then you can accept the truth of your future self and know it's already yours so that your actions align with your vision. Your circumstances change immediately. It don't take 21 days, really? Okay, you see what you didn't previously see. You stop doing what no longer aligns. It's just a decision. I'll give you a quick example. I'm going to pause. If somebody in your family was in a major car accident and you had to rush to the hospital, that's priority. You stop immediately everything you're doing because you have got to go to the hospital, especially if that person lives in your city or close to, let's say it's a kid or a parent, right? You're stopping immediately what you're doing. All those other priorities and to-do lists you had today, you're now aligning to that vision, which is urgent. And so whatever your vision that you want to get to, if you make that vision that much urgent, you will know what to cut out so that you are stopping it and going. That's a drastic example, but that's how much of a shift you have to see it that you have to take to be your future self now. Once you accept the truth of your future self and know it's already yours and your actions align with your vision, your circumstances change immediately. You see what you didn't previously see. You stop doing what no longer aligns. This takes us to step 4, where in a state of knowing, you directly ask for exactly what you want. You'll see paths and relationships that will get you to your goals. As William Hutchin Murray put it, this is the last paragraph. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy. The chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sort of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. That was a mouthful. All right, that's the end. Stay tuned for the next reading, which I'm going to go ahead and give you a clue. The next one is ask for exactly what you want. And it's based off of Matthew 7:7-8. Ask and it shall be given you. For everyone that asks, receive. So make sure you like and subscribe because you're definitely going to want to hear that one. Take care. God bless. Stay warm and prayers up for you. Prayers up for you. Storm. Take care.